Hi, I'm Buzz Lagos. Welcome to this week's analysis. We have two clips to look at today. One of a great goal-scoring chance for Minnesota in the second half of their game against Carolina. The second of a defensive breakdown by Edmonton, a defense which Minnesota expects to exploit this coming weekend. Let's look at those clips now. Using your width, Kevin Venegas to start with, changing direction, straightening the defense out, suddenly opens up some channels. So we started with Venegas to Jordan, to Brofsky, to Lang. Now we're stretching the defense out a bit with that pulling the ball around, and just a perfectly laid ball right into that gap, right between two defenders for Christian Ramirez to get a nice touch and lay it back to Pino to create a great opportunity to score a goal in Carolina. And last week we talked about using that width. Let's go back again. Okay, with Kevin Venegas, just look at the idea. Even though he's contemplating a penetrating pass, gets his head up, kind of forces the Carolina defense to tuck in a bit, maybe block that ball to Christian Ramirez. You see the defensive midfielder sliding over. People are worried about the ball going in that penetrating manner. This player's tucking in a bit to cover and giving Greg Jordan a little bit more space. Kevin Venegas decides to do a little skillful step over, shields the ball well, and quickly finds Greg Jordan. Now, Greg basically sees no options really going forward for him. There's just too many Carolina players in the way, no blue shirts in any particular passing lanes. Just a nice one-time pass to Jeb Brofsky, who's just wide open. Just good vision to see what's going on. And again, not much going for blue jerseys in a penetrating manner, so he just decides to get that change of direction going wide to Lance Lang. But notice what's happened now. We've started on the right-hand side of the field and made that stretch to the other side of the field, and it just starts to pull apart the defenders. And the pull apart the defenders back in the penalty area enough for a ball to be laid in beautifully right into Christian Ramirez. I'd also like to see Cruz just pull back a bit, a little better angle, so we have like a triangle shape attack going on to give Christian not only the option maybe to turn and shoot, but the option to play the ball to Pino, which he did do, but also the option to play the ball to Cruz at a better angle. So Cruz might just take 2 or 3 yards step back as the ball's coming into Ramirez, and to be able to receive a ball himself and be able to get a shot off. But again, Pino's just in good position. He's just tucking in a bit to the middle a bit, laying back, not rushing on the ball, holding that space, defying the space for the ball to be played into so he can attack the ball. And just the only issue, again, he's noticed his non-kicking foot's a little behind the ball. But the issue in this situation is the defender's closing him down quickly. And so he's got to somehow release quickly to get that shot off. And he just couldn't quite get next to the ball and get the body over the ball in his hurry to beat that defender to the ball and get that shot off. So the defender looks, heads up, see what's going on. He's just going to loft the ball in. And he sees the big target of Danso. Bump on, Vinoco comes, goes back, and the shot and the save. So just one more time, we'll go back and look at this. Ball up. And Danso's there. Now defensively, kind of sign of holding an offside line too. You'd like to keep that. Matt Vinoco saw the long lofted ball. Could I get to it? No, top of the box. Probably couldn't even use my hands out there. So he's got caught in a little bit of no man's land, but he's going to back up a bit now, get some recovery, because you don't want to get a bump on over his head. And the good leap by Danso. Number 14 has to be tucking back in between those two guys, covering those two guys. You know, I know you're trying to hold the offside line, but sometimes comes a point where sometimes they almost junk the offside line to get back in a good defensive position. And number 3 has to turn and curl back and look over his shoulder and see the other two players. Because when you're in a position like this, when you have 3 players, you have to play zonally. You just can't quite play a man-to-man. You got to just take your chance and try to read that ball and attack the ball, and not just pick up one guy and have leave other guys wide open. This player should be tucking in, even though he probably could never get back into the play. He's got to get back in to help out in case there's a bump on, which might go to the left or right. Might go straight toward this near post area as opposed to bumping onto the far post. And just the things of, Minnesota hopes to be able to play some balls in the box and maybe catch Edmonton in kind of an unbalanced position on defense, where there's suddenly players who are open on that far post area so they can get in those players early. We just saw a clip of a great goal-scoring chance for Minnesota, a chance that would have earned Minnesota a point on the road at Carolina. Minnesota's on the road again against Edmonton. Hopefully they'll be able to break Edmonton's defense down and score a couple goals. Next week, we'll look back at the Edmonton game and look forward to the home opener when Minnesota takes on the Fort Lauderdale Strikers.